Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
Hello and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Back of the Bus Sessions podcast. Merry bloody Christmas. Let's have go on, pull that, James, pull that. Oh, I was supposed to let you win. Today's guest, I've got a fantastic duo on the bus. They're good friends of mine. I've known you for a long time. You give me one of my first stage performances with some music. I really appreciate it. Lady Rose. I was going to say Joe and James, and I got it wrong way round. James and Joe.
We forget which one we are, to be fair.
Mikey, get off of here. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah,
Very well, thank
good,
you.
man. How
Thank
are
you so much for being here. Are you enjoying the Christmas attire? I bought these on today.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wrap round everything. They're like iPhone headphones. It's like got caught up in it. Are you Christmassy people?
I am. I think more than James. He's more of a Scrooge, I think.
In every sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Well,
particularly festive.
wait there,
just-
guys. You wait, yeah. There you go. Right. I've got a special treat. We can all have a hat on each. I bought these today.
Hey.
Went charity shopping, if you trust charity shops. Right. Joe, what do you want? You've got a turkey, an elf, or a reindeer?
I'll go for the elf.
I said it was Scrooge, but I was like the one just grabbing
Yeah,
that.
you were desperate. Give us some turkey. You're desperate for the turkey, aren't you,
got it
bro?
down,
I've never seen you so ready. Right, I've got my reindeers on.
Are we going
I like that we've gone for straight over the hat. Two hats, twats. Best podcast start ever.
Can we keep that?
Yeah, cool. This is yours, man. Present
Oh,
galore.
look at that. You
You
look
took-
beautiful.
Christmas spirit. I didn't even see what one. Do you want to hear my joke?
Yes,
have a
let's go
look.
Of
for it.
course you do. Right, let's get into this. It says joke dead big, like joke, just to let you know. Okay. What do Santa's little helpers learn at school?
Oh, I don't know.
James, you're fucking funny, man. You know stuff. Like, come on.
You know jokes.
You. I can't wait to edit this back. I'm just going to be pissing myself in James's face right all the way. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
So, what do Santa's little helpers learn at Christmas? The alphabet.
Oh, that's
That's not
clever.
actually bad. That's pretty
clever.
good.
I like
Should we
that.
get one more out?
Go on
Come on.
then.
You didn't
Yeah.
have a pull.
Oh, no, you won twice.
Ooh,
I think this is a fix.
I really shouldn't be winning like this. Okay. Screw the toy. Let's just get straight on the joke. Okay, ready, guys? James,
Ready.
be a bit more
You
switched on,
braced?
lad.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, really think.
That's never happened.
Why does everyone like Frosty the Snowman?
Because he's a nice guy.
You should have wrote this because that would have been better. But it's because he is cool.
Oh, what?
Which
that,
I'm down your path, mate.
because he's a nice guy.
An ice.
An
Not
ice
ice,
guy.
nice.
Ice.
Just in
Oh,
case
wow.
anyone didn't get it home. An ice.
Now we're
ice
He's
talking.
guy.
made of snow.
Have you two ever thought about writing either Christmas jokes or a number one Christmas song? Have you gone for that yet?
Yes, but it's never happened. So
Never.
I'm posting
I think
them
we'd
at
be
the
better
minute.
with the jokes. I reckon.
So I'm a patient in a minute.
But until my joke comes about, yeah, I'm posting letters, unfortunately.
Oh, mate. So what would you do for a Christmas song then? Have you had this discussion as a duo? Who you're like, you know what, we could do this.
We do.
Every
Every
year.
time we sit down, we realise it's already been done and it's Fairy Tale from New York.
Yeah.
So we sit there, we're writing, and oh, fuck's sake. Shane McGowan's bit, we've done it again.
I had this conversation the other day with Joey, and I'm interested to hear your perspectives. If you want to get political on this bus, but the Fairy Tale of New York, it's not being played this year on Radio 1. I don't know if you saw about that.
Yeah.
Go on then.
It's mental. We've done a cover of it, and I've sung the classic original lyrics
Everything
of the song because
as
that is
is.
the best way to sing it.
It's the only way to sing it.
It really is.
I think that's what you've got to be, though. Like, think of that situation. They're in a bar, they're arguing together. That's what they wrote about.
Yeah, you're not going to censor yourself, are you? Like
No,
midway through an argument.
And I think Joey said something perfect. It's like, why are we erasing history in that
Yeah.
way? Like, that's how it was.
They're doing it across the whole board,
But
aren't they? at the
it's
minute?
like anything else as well. If you don't like it, just turn
Don't
the
listen.
channel.
Yeah,
Or
it's
don't
so
buy
easy,
it
isn't
or
it?
whatever else. That's where
Yeah.
I see things.
The world's gone too PC, like with everything.
I
That's all-
completely agree.
They've remade The Witches.
Oh,
the Roald
the
Dahl.
three finger thing.
Yeah, the three fingers.
Mate,
oh,
that
you're
drove
offending
me.
people with limb deficiencies.
Because
James, I don't know how you feel, brother, but like the amount of villains in films with bald heads, I see it all the time.
Uprise.
Doctor Evil. I don't kick and scream about it. I'm just like, right, that's depicting a
character.
villain that's wrote on a fictional character.
yeah,
I'm
but you're giving
okay.
it all this, but we've both gone and bought hats.
Yeah. I must admit, it was the moment I watched Austin
Yeah,
Powers.
I'm not even bothered.
Yeah.
I've got a turkey on my head just to hide the fact I'm bald.
So, have you two been writing throughout lockdown? Have you just been? Because I know, because we were going to make a song together, but
Yeah.
I was like, "Calm, guys, you're very busy. You've got like every week was booked out for you, wasn't it?"
Yeah,
Just
it was crazy.
Tell me about that.
Well, so yeah, obviously from March it all kind of stopped, like the whole world did. It all just went on hold. But we went online based and kind of just tried to reach out to a lot more people. We got in the studio, luckily, in the summer, and we've just released a new song, Pep Talk. So go check that out.
I've been checking it
Drop
out
it.
as well. It's ace.
Thank you.
Really is ace. Have you had a revamp on your Spotify?
Yeah, we're just trying to boost it up a little bit because
Hmm.
we're completely independent with stuff, and it's difficult, as you know, if you've not got like a huge team behind you for your original
Hmm.
work. You've just got to try and keep plugging and harassing people with it as much as you can.
You've got Mr. Man for that. haven't you?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, love a good,
I've seen you in
love a good
action,
case of
dude.
harassment.
Yeah.
You're fantastic at that. Have you ever been on a course or anything, or do you learn on the
I'm
spot
just a
to
natural dickhead. It just comes to me, mate. Just think, like, it's one of those things. You've got a choice. It's either yes or a no. So you just throw it out to as many people and see what happens.
When I was living in Australia for a year, and the worst job I did was for a charity. It was a nice charity because I was like, it was sending clowns into hospitals for kids. I was like, yeah, I'm into that. I can do that. But I was the knobhead on the street that had to sign people up.
oh,
And my sort of team leader was just like, for every no, there's going to be a yes. And that's the best philosophy I did take from that, even though they were wank and I hated doing the job. Because when we go to meetings, the leader would literally turn up in a Ferrari all the time for this charity. And then when they're talking about where we're going to have another meeting for the executives, it's always like Barbados. And I'm like,
and
You're
you're
a
stood on the
charity.
street like getting harassed by people and
begging people for
abused.
£1 sign up or something. It just didn't seem quite fitting for me.
yeah,
But I like that, taking the philosophy away. Every no leads to a yes. And that's how what you
Not
built.
every no.
Nearly,
But
yeah.
every now and again,
It leads
one person.
towards.
Yeah,
a yes.
you've just got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah.
The thing is, you got nothing to lose. So, like my Facebook, I don't hardly know any of them. I'll be honest with you. Hi, random strangers on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's a mark. But yeah, I don't know any of them. I just added that many people, and then was like, like the page, no, bye. Like the page, no, bye.
I love
And
that
then,
it come back round to you though, didn't it? You started getting randomers onto your side then. So karma is a bitch. But you played in that as well. You danced in karma.
It is what it is, yeah. But
Unsolicited dick pics? Go on then, have one back, lad.
yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that.
yeah.
They might have been into the music had I not done that.
Can I ask, from artist to artist with your Spotify,
yeah.
how do you grow that? Because I'm struggling, to be
Yeah.
fair, with Spotify. Other platforms, Facebook, Insta, everything's been all right, but Spotify is quite a hard
It's
grower.
difficult. You need to try and get onto playlists. That's like your key, is getting onto playlists.
How do you do that?
Right, do you know what? I'm gonna
Harassing
I'm gonna
people.
give you all the answers.
Yeah.
But we're not any good at it. But it's Spotify is an algorithm.
Yeah, it's
and
just
it
an
works
algorithm.
on like things like same as Facebook. So you've got to be active with it and show that you're promoting yourself and promoting Spotify. If Spotify sees that this is a relevant track, then it will keep.
Yeah.
I was just listening to him in a really serious manner with a fucking turkey on. I was just proper in like, he actually knows what he's on about.
I
And I'm
don't know.
like,
What I'm trying to do is try and recite the videos I've watched recently and trying to recite it word for word what they've said.
I like it.
So I've given it a go. We'll see what happens. But at the minute, I'm just spamming people with my songs and dick pics.
But that's the way to do
See
it.
which one sticks.
But it picks up on all sorts. So if people skip your track, it kind of gets bumped down the list. It becomes a skippable track.
Okay.
So there's loads of little things like that. I say it's all an algorithm, so it's all computer based. The more followers you've got, the more relevant you become, and you sort of get shown to more people. But I say the key is to try and get onto the playlists, and then that's where you'll get your streams.
What was your Spotify doing before then? Was that quite seen. Why did you choose to revamp it?
It wasn't really doing a lot, was it? We released an EP last year, and altogether it's had about 7,000.
But to be fair though, we're completely independent. I mean, Turkey name. Slow down on them. We're completely independent, so we've got no one sort of pushing our stuff. It's all through what we kind of think might be right. But then when now stuff sort of changed, we've spoken to more people, we're getting a bit more of an idea.
More of an idea, so we've got a bit more direction with it. So we're trying to put more into it, just from other like advice and stuff.
Because at first we were clueless, so it's just sort of like, we've got this EP, play it. You know,
For young artists, what's some of the biggest mistakes you made as artists?
Oh God, we made loads, haven't we?
Don't say getting James on board.
Well, that's probably that again. That's a whole podcast on its own.
I'm ready.
What I would say, do you know? I would say personally, because I see it as like, if you're out there and you're playing, you're performing, you're putting yourself out there to people. You are providing a service. Stop doing things for free all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to people.
Yeah.
Because remember when we first started, the amount of times people offered exposure.
Yeah.
Is that nothing good comes of exposure, mate? You
And
know
we
what
were trying. I mean, we met you
Yeah.
properly through Annie's, didn't we? When we were running the open mic there, and at first we didn't get anything for it, and then they started to give us a little bit for it. But we thought, with the amount that we're bringing in, the amount that you're making,
Yeah.
you're not
Juice
really
isn't
paying
worth
us
the
enough to
squeeze.
pay everybody.
Yeah, and I don't mean to, like, when I say that, I don't mean to offend anyone or anything like
Yeah.
that. But
But you put a lot of time and effort into.
every now and again, there is like little ones that you can do, and it is good exposure if there's a load of people there, or you know what I mean. If you've got a new song and you want to get it out there to people, fair enough. But if you're just playing all the time for no money, but other people are making money off you, that's the bit I noticed. So just have a bit of confidence.
Have a bit of value.
Have a bit of confidence and a bit of value in what
It
you
happens to like clothing brands even. Do you know if you don't put a price tag on it, even if it's the coolest, really good looking like clothing brand, people are like, I don't really want that. Everyone's got that. And not being mean to an artist, but
Yeah.
I know so many artists, and I've done it myself, where I've done charity gigs, and then they were like, oh, you played there free, would you do us?
Yeah.
And you start getting used about by every other like owner of a business.
Definitely.
And they're the only ones taking something from
That's
it, really.
And that's when I said that, it could come across as a bit arrogant, you know what I mean, to say that.
It's
and I
a
don't
good
mean
thing
it in
to
that
say
way.
for young people, or
I just
not
mean,
young people,
yeah.
but young to the scene or
I mean,
young
fair
to
enough.
music.
If you're just starting out and you've only know 2 songs and you're just going to open mics and stuff, do that, because that's fantastic to
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
experience up, networking. It's a really good thing in the beginning, but there must come a point where you've now got enough of a set list
Yeah,
to really pursue it and go out and make some money off it.
But then it's like, the big one for me was when COVID first stopped. I don't know if it stopped and started. It stopped for a bit, and then
the virus just took a back seat, didn't it?
yeah, and then they let the bars open.
yeah.
And there was places saying, come down and play for a pizza or something like
Yeah,
that. And then
yeah.
appreciate they've lost out, so I get that. But if you've lost out and you can't afford to have anyone in, then you just can't afford live music. Stop using people.
Yeah,
you wouldn't say
completely
to an electrician, oh, come round and fix it. I've not got any money, mate, because obviously times, but I'll give you a pizza if you
Could you
rewire my
imagine?
house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't work.
I
like
always
that,
think
bro.
that with encores though as well. Do you know, like the only job with an encore where if you've got a electrician who's done a great job and you think, oh, it was so good, come back, do a bit more, do something else. It's like, that was perfect as was. Leave it alone.
Fix the kettle, win.
Get him back. That's fantastic. I think that is really good advice. Can you remember the first time you got paid for a gig? Like, and that feeling you got?
It was my first gig, mate.
First fucking
He's always been a hustler.
such a demanding gig.
Mate, I gave it so much crap. I'm a salesman. I'm not a
I
musician.
love it. Yeah, that works. Go on, tell me that then. You got there.
We
and
got there. We just said like.
What did you tell them about me?
You are a proper salesman.
It's going back a bit. I can't remember the whole thing.
Won
but-
the X Factor. Did you watch it? No. Oh yeah, she won it.
Something along those lines.
Do you know that bloke Simon Cowell? That's her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was at women's semi-finalists in Wimbledon in 1975 and stuff. I gave him so much crap, but basically, I think we won't name the place, but we got about for that. Like that back in there.
Don't name it because their DMs are going to get slid into left, right, and centre.
Oh no, it reduced over the years when it changed hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but
no, we're not
we
paying
Stop
that.
meeting James's.
Yeah, and we were like, and I proper gave it some big stuff, and I was the manager of the band, and then we turned up and we got this little crappy.
Brother.
Proper little like busking on. But
Yeah.
Me and you would have been great around Australia together and travelling. The amount of random jobs I've had for women on a night out. Like 18-year-old Mikey. I think me and my mate Jagger went travelling together, and we're like, what we're going to make up tonight? And mine was an underwater dolphin shaver. But some people 100% bought it.
What was yours? Your South African thing?
I was in charge of panda control.
The fucking out of control, these pandas.
Well,
Oh God.
Sometimes you just
I
got to give them a
haven't gotten to that
firm
one.
word.
Well, it was a mate was saying like you ought to put a bit of an accent on and stuff, and
Go on then.
so it was on about him just talking. I went up to these guys and hello ladies, where you from? I'm from South Africa. And they were like, I thought, are they going to buy it? Yeah, they bought it. And like, what you doing in here? And I was like, I work here, don't I? And they were like, oh, what do you do? I'm in charge of panda control. And she's like, panda control? There aren't any pandas in England. Because exactly, I'm doing a very good job. Now your place on mine.
Oh, mate.
too smooth.
Yeah, man.
Have you got all the accents down? Are you good at accents?
No,
'Cause
just that Welsh
That's
That was it.
I thought it was Barnsley.
Changes, man. I'm not very good at geography or accents.
I really like accents. I watch a lot of the time. Do you know when you're getting like YouTube, you're looking at cat videos and then it takes you down to ISIS. For some reason, I just love ISIS. I was navigated to this guy who does like, I think it's 100 different characters in a minute.
Oh, wow.
And you can just go like Bart Simpson, South Park, everything. But when you went, it just feeds my soul. When somebody does an accent, I'm just like, I'm in. I just love it.
Oh, Paul, the panda's working.
So, what sort of material are you making now then with all this time that you've been given because you've not got that year of gigs to do?
Yeah, well,
What?
say we kind of pushed out loads of videos over lockdown, and I did a little ukulele cover of These Streets by Paolo Nutini.
Oh, watch that.
And
That
it
was
got
a
shared.
special.
Yeah, well, it got shared by Music Grounds, which is a huge platform on Facebook. They've got about 5 million followers.
Did they get in touch with you?
Well, they've shared loads of our videos over the
Really?
year. That's how our page has
James,
grown.
what you been sending them?
One of the ones that actually stuck. There was
But I did.
nice girth. Anyway.
Oh dear,
Sorry,
James.
You're allowed to
Because
say
you've got
anything on this
turkey on your
podcast, just not fuck or bugger. Both selector.
Yeah, so they shared this video, and then it hit about 50,000 or something plays. And this random man called Jim got in touch and was like, "Oh, hello, my name's Jim. I co-wrote that song with Paolo, and I
Wow.
really love your cover. I think you've got a fantastic voice." I was like, "Ooh," and he said, "Feel free to like check me out." And so we had a Google.
Who do you need to thank though? His mum.
Yes,
His mum?
His mum had shared
Janet.
our video and was like, "You need to listen to this woman," and she's like one of our mega fans.
Really?
Yeah, oh, she's beautiful.
Checking out everything you're up to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, big up Janet.
So he got in touch and he wanted to work on a project where we do acoustic covers of songs, so older songs, modern songs, and put a different twist on it.
Wow.
And he managed to get us in with 45 record label, so they're kind of more of an online based.
So you've
label.
officially been signed then?
Yeah, well, I've got a deal to make 7 tracks with them.
Joe has I.
I'm ditching James.
No bitterness though, eh, James?
He wasn't as keen on the sales pitch.
Maybe it was the girl.
He kept the
Just don't
picture.
just don't send him along, please.
So that must have been. When was this? Like a few months ago?
Yeah, so it was around July time.
Wow.
And we worked on a track remotely, so I recorded vocals at home, and then he produced it, and then he sent it out to different labels, and then got the interest with this one. And say we've got contracted for 7 songs, and I went down a few days ago, nailed the 7 songs, but we've got little tweaks here and there, so I'm going back next week to do a few more little tweaks, more harmonies and stuff. But the sound is so good. So
Really?
it's dead exciting. Yeah.
So this is a solo project then?
Yeah, so it's under Joanne Mather.
Under
And-
Joanne Mather?
Yeah, and what they basically do, this label, this is how I've started to learn a bit more about Spotify as well. So they kind of, I've lost my alpha. They push it out onto all their playlists,
Okay.
which racks up the views.
Right, yeah, that starts to spread you out.
Yeah, man. So we'll see how it goes.
Who's,
I'm not leaving. Man.
We're talking about Joe now, so James is like, right, I'm
He's
off
off.
of it. I'm not
Gonna get
wanted.
sulk in the corner.
I'm mesh me. These postmen, they're not used to being in
punching
cold
the mics.
conditions.
And now it's your turn. So, yeah, same with, like, do you know Harley Blue from Knots?
Yeah, she's smashing it, man.
I was listening to Spotify the other day, and I just put a neo soul playlist on random one around the world, and like she was like the third one to come up. I was like, oh wow, I can see where you're getting your mills from. Yeah,
That's the key, man. Get onto playlist.
Get onto playlist.
And you can sort of, if you've got a new track out, so what we've done with our latest one, we've got a press release together for the track. So just a bit about the track, and then if it's pre-release, then you put a private link, like a SoundCloud link, so then bloggers, magazines, people that put tracks onto playlists can check it out first, and then
Okay.
once it comes out, they decide whether it fits into their playlist. So we're kind of trying to push down that avenue. But it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? You get 100 no's, and then there'll be a yes, and you get that break, and then once you crack it, get into the playlist or get it written about in a magazine, I think then it kind of has a knock-on effect, and hoping for that with the original stuff.
What got you into all these gigs though? Like, how did you end up with a full year booked out? Because there's so many artists that are going to be like, wow,
It's the pics.
is that it? Is it you sending
the
across and speaking
Find a
to
good
them?
angle.
My
Good
Facebook,
lighting.
like down the messages,
Okay, it is that.
is just like so many blocked.
Well, there's that.
Facebook user, because I just go out and I send a message to loads and loads and loads, and they say basically one of them is going to say yes eventually.
But you
Yeah.
kind of build it. It's word of mouth as well.
Word of mouth, yeah.
We've had we do a lot of weddings and
Weddings.
stuff, and that's come off word of mouth. So they've seen us somewhere. Oh, so and so's
I
mentioned
was
you, and
supposed to
then
ask you that for the next year. Actually, if you do my sister's wedding, we're having a party on the farm.
Hey.
So if you're up for it,
Yeah,
you've
man.
got
Stuff like, I didn't
you've
even
got
have to send
booking
him a
right
picture
here.
either.
I mean, I'm still taking dick pics though, James. Don't worry. Like, if you've got any rooting about, just for that girth. Yeah.
let's say. I mean, it's kind of hard to say at the minute, isn't it? Because everything's just gone tits up.
Yeah, it's
Like
crazy.
across the whole industry, like from the top to the bottom, everyone's suffering at the minute and losing
When you started
money.
to have everybody come back to you and say, we're going to have to cancel every day or every other day, what was you thinking? What was coming across them? Was it panic stations?
A little bit, wasn't it? We were working full time as
Because you
musicians.
built, like, how long have you been on? When I saw you at Annie's, had you been on the scene for a long time then?
Not really.
No, it's quite fresh then.
Was
to be
it?
fair. That was like
so
in the
we're all
early
quite
days.
together then.
Yeah.
We're on this past. I love
We're
it.
growing together, man.
All nostalgic right now.
Yeah, that was early days, wasn't it? It was not long. It was then really that was the kind of turning point to where we thought we're going to get our own PA and we're going to push and get paid for this,
Yeah.
didn't we? And then we built it up from then.
That was
Like-
sort of my bitter answer to what you said originally about like what's your advice for new musicians coming through, because we got used that much
Yeah.
with different places and scammed, and it just got to the point where I was like, no, I'm not having this. You know what I mean? Like,
We spend
don't
the
know how
time
to-
practicing the songs.
Yeah.
You buy the
we spent a
expensive guitar.
fortune
And
doing all the stuff, and then you're not getting anything back off it, and it's like, what? You know what I mean? And I always feel a bit like it sounds like you're being arrogant when as soon as you mention money. I think it's like a British thing, and nobody likes to talk about money and whatever. But it is. I mean, that's what we're all here for. You've got to make a bit of a drink. You know.
I think it's crucial to talk about that because it's the real parts of things that we all want this to be our living, and we all want this to be what we do on the daily, which we should because it's our passion.
Yeah.
And people should be pursuing their passions, but it is. Because it's not talked about properly between each other and you don't want to bring money up,
Yeah.
people are making all them daft decisions and doing them silly gigs where it's like, you don't need to be doing this. And it is lowering your worth and
Yeah.
value as an artist the more you do them.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
let's go from the big one. I don't mind saying it, but Motormouth is the man.
He's bloody
He's the man.
amazing.
He is the best artist I think I
Yeah.
know
He's so
in that
talented.
field. He's just got it. It's the presence, the atmosphere, the everything. But I've seen him play for literally like a pint
Yeah.
in this tiny little field. And I'm just like, bro, I know you love it. In fact, I respect the hell out of you because you love it so much and you just want to do it.
Yeah.
But I really want to just see you on the big
He
stages.
deserves
which-
it. He deserves
yeah,
to be up there with the best because
He's
he
a
is.
talented lad. He's very talented.
So cool. But it is, that's the
Nice bloke as well, you know what I mean? He's got the personality
yeah.
to go with it. That's what I mean, he's got the package.
Can you imagine
to
him
be out
like
there.
with thousands of
Yeah.
people around, but every fan would just be like, yo, yeah.
He'd
and
smash it
oh.
like main stage Glasgow. Any
would.
massive festival like that, he would
would.
just own it.
Have you had him on here?
Not yet. He's been a bit busy boy though at the minute.
Oh, is
He's
he?
been all over the place, lots on, making a life for himself. So I've understood that. Let him do it, but he'll be
You will
coming
pin
on.
him down at some point.
Yeah,
You hear that?
we'll be having a session. We've had him on a busking session
Yeah.
though. It was so good. We had Stingray and the J as well.
Yeah.
We had the Stingray boys, Motormouth, and the other artist. Who's a great lineup as well. Can't remember, but I remember it must have been a hip hop because they did like a cipher.
Yeah.
So Motormouth just made this beat on his loop track, but there was loads of hip hop heads in the crowd.
Yeah, I remember,
So
I
they all
saw
just
it.
kept jumping
Yeah.
on, and oh man, I love that because it's so authentic. But anything happens in a cipher.
Yeah.
It's just when all the rappers come up and they're freestyling and they're rapping about being on the bus, you're like, oh, this is real. I remember that night was one of my best nights ever.
Yeah.
Especially Stingray and the J as well. Have you seen them live
Not live. No, see, I've seen videos.
on the bus and stuff?
Yeah.
It's just
I say
funky
when
fun. Yeah.
live music makes its comeback, like
so
gotta
ready.
make an effort to go and see so many different people.
We are having the biggest party on
that
this
again.
bus when it's all back in action.
We'll be there, man.
I can't wait. So have you got stuff for next year though? Have you got things lined up yet? Or
Yeah, we've had a lot of I say weddings have rearranged. Oh, let me do a quick.
I love the dedication to the hat.
Seamless.
You're like,
There you go.
it fell off twice, but you're like, no, it's staying on.
There you
We don't want to ruin the contingency of the podcast.
Yeah,
Like, watching it now. Well,
We'll swap hats soon. I'll go turkey soon.
yeah. And about 2 minutes later, the other one will be back on again. Like, oh.
I'm not too worried on the professionality of this podcast. We've been punching the mic. I've been ripping this thing off. We've been swearing.
Well, you've got
talking
us
about
in for a
dick
start,
pics. Like, yeah, I knew you were coming, so I thought everything's possible.
We can cut that because I said contingency instead of consistency.
I think contingency, right, in it? The continuation.
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity.
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 We're in. We're
Cut
in.
that one out.
Jargon words.
No rap battles from us. Just going dictionary.
So, guys, also, I just saw on my peripherals. Now, that is a word. I've seen the guitar.
Yeah.
Are you up for doing a little piece then? Are you?
Because if you did mention what we're doing in the new year, we have a new song coming out, New Year's Day.
Yeah, man.
And it's not new. It's been around for ages. But
But it is new because we've got a drummer and a bass player, and it sounds mint. And
I
James
think
has done.
I've got
like,
to say
some-
the side note up to this as well. Before the podcast, I was like, "Have you got any Christmas songs?" And James was like, "No, straight up not." But this I do want to hear. So this is a new song. Let me get this.
Yeah, we'll give you a little
whack this
sneak
up for it.
peek.
Wow, it's even in tune.
Hey.
That's the first.
Beautiful.
We'll give you a little snippet. I've been singing solidly for the last few days.
Get it, son. What's wrong with you?
We're gonna give it some. Let's hear ya.
This is Blind Out on 1st of December.
What was that? Was
Oh, no,
that
it's
even
not.
a sentence?
1st of January. So I'm in Turkey.
This is what? Right,
What is
start
it?
that again.
What's the song called?
Blind Eye.
And it's
Out on
1st of December,
January
January
2021.
next year.
This
We're
is
not
like
that far next year. Next month.
this is like a clip from Bottom or something.
You can parade in diamonds to hide a storm. Running with the pack, but you wander alone. That's a high expense when it's bought so cheap. It's not the promise you give, it's those lies you keep. Oh, but it shouldn't be that hard this time. Oh, Lord, it didn't ought to be. Oh, but you're standing in the shadows for all but the blind eye to see. And check
then
out
you-
the rest of the song on the 1st of
You were
January.
kind of looking at me like, stop them.
My voice is hurting. I did tell
It's
you
the
that.
thing-
And it's just like whack out that one. It's like probably like.
What I really enjoy with you two is the chemistry though that you create. You're always looking at each other, but looks like you're telling jokes subconsciously
And
and
kicking 'em.
subliminally to each other. Is that right?
No.
Do you have a look at each other and just like,
It's usually
We're very in tune with each other, to be fair, aren't we? We're married, aren't we?
I'm glad you
looked
gave
really
that, so-
sad about that.
No, because my answer was going to be completely different. It's usually that I'm that drunk, I'm just making sure she's still there. So I'm just keep playing.
that's also another thing I really like. You get into the spirit wherever you go, you absolutely get in with it and have a drink or two.
Yeah, man.
Do you,
We are massive alcoholics.
do you end up getting too wasted to play?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Have you had that moment?
Yeah. in
Go
the
on, give us a
past.
couple of rundowns
Oh
of like.
gosh, yeah. There's been a few. I think you always think that you sound better.
No, there was only
like me
once.
singing. No, I've done it a few times.
Go on then. What
There was
happened?
only one that was because other than that, because we, to be fair, we are quite professional. When we're at gigs, we don't get like pissed and start performing. We do sort of make it sure that like you might have.
Is
one
he
or
convincing you with this? By the
No,
way?
not one
Trust
bit.
me.
I'm listening. I'm like, you weren't very professional that night. We were all together, and that was a gig to
wasn't
me.
like a proper gig. You know what I mean?
That was a
just-
get
That was a get
together.
together.
That was lovely, yeah.
Steaming get-togethers. Steaming on buses, aren't we? There was only one that ever happened, and it wasn't particularly our fault. We played this gig at Christmas one time, and we turned up,
Very
and
apt.
basically, yeah, I can't remember what it was, but basically they'd cancelled the night, but not cancelled us. So there was meant to be a party going on, but then we turned up and there wasn't a party. So we was like, well, we're here now. And they were like, oh. I said, well, you can either pay us the stuff and we'll go, or we can stay. And they said, well, you might as well stay then. So we stayed, played 2 songs. No, what we just playing to the barmaid. So we sat down, so should we have some beers? Few drinks, few shots, whatever else. Got absolutely battered because a few mates were there, Christmas. Then a busload turned up, didn't they?
No way.
And they were like, can you get up and play? And we were like, I thought we'd finished. Like, no, there's people here now. We got up and played a couple. Oh, God, it was the guitar were playing me. Joe'd got the mic upside down.
It's
Mate,
it's
it's
not
awful.
too bad when you're playing, as I'd suppose I'd sort of know, but as an instrument, I can't imagine. I mean, getting the chords right and stuff, but lyricism, it's really hard, isn't it? Do you know, forgetting the lyrics?
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
wankered and just trying to do my own poetry. As soon as I get like miss a line, I'm out. I don't know how to get back to it. It's like
Yeah,
a
you can
jigsaw
style
puzzle.
it easier on a guitar, I suppose. Got it like
When you
with
when you
another chord. or-
when you played
you
Wank,
do
or
really
you-
well.
I don't do it that often. I don't get drunk and play, to be fair. Because I can't do it. Not like steaming drunk. Couple here, well, I've had a few actually now, to be fair, to what I'm talking about.
I was just saying that as we were all drinking. Never.
I'll have to listen back to what it sounds like. Maybe that'd be good, our niche. The steaming musicians.
It's a new brand name, isn't it?
Yeah. you can have either a sober act or drunk act.
You pay more for the
You pay-
drunk act.
they pay more.
Just
To
come
cover
a
the
little
beer.
bit closer into the mic, Jake. Beautiful. That.
I was hoping all that was going to get edited out, to be fair. I was just sort of saying that on the sly.
What have you got any gigs that you can remember that are like your best ever performances when you both walked off together? Like we've actually just smashed that.
We've had so many gigs now, haven't we? Like we had hundreds last year. Weddings are always good. We've always tend to have a very good wedding, don't we? I can't remember like a specific. Oh, we supported John Otway. That was pretty
That's
amazing.
big.
And,
My mum would have been all over that.
Do you even know who he is?
Yeah.
That's
Of
brilliant.
course I do.
Because usually I say that and they're like, who? So I just
John
have to stop
Otway's
saying
big. Yeah,
I
that's
saw
real.
it. I still do.
So-
we supported him, and then James played one of his songs called Bluey Green. This really beautiful track with guitar, and sang it with him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Sorry,
mate, I
with
bet that
John
was a
Otway.
massive moment for you, wasn't it?
Well, it was because I started getting the words wrong, and because do you know when you play it all the time and it's dead easy?
Were you pissed again?
No, do you know what that's probably the thing. I'm not used to playing it.
Yeah,
sober.
yeah.
I was having to think of the words, like. But do you know when you've got the bloke who wrote it, like
Yeah.
sat about 2 feet away from you, looking at you, then you start getting a bit paranoid. Like, have I said that right? And so I sort of like looked at him, and he just got up and started singing with me. Like, so
Oh,
yeah,
what a
it's cool,
guy.
man. And
I
then we
love
went-
nice musicians.
Oh, he's a lovely
he's
bloke.
great
We went for a
artist.
few beers with him. His missus
Went to the
afterwards.
Bell Inn, didn't we, for a whiskey?
Yeah,
Really?
And then we had a bit of a jam in the street as well with him. He's proper. He's a sound
What a
bloke, he is.
guy.
Oh,
That's
proper.
such a nice story.
Oh,
So
it's
how did you
awesome.
get that gig lined up? Was it...
Again, pictures. I went into where was it? Oh, we played a gig at Foreman's, And I can't remember what it was, but it was doing for a favour because they'd been let down or something by another act, and we just happened to be free that night. So he was like, yeah, go on then. So we went down.
Opportunist.
And the bloke said, oh, what can we do? Like, fantastic turning up and all that. I saw this John Otway post. I says, get us supporting him, and he went, sorted. I was like,
No
really?
way.
I was like, yeah.
James, you are the biggest businessman ever. Did you do that from school? Like, did you do sales or anything like that? Because I bet everyone was like, I need to get you on my team. I need to get you.
It's just it's grown up in Clifton, isn't it?
You've done some sales.
That's what
jobs,
Clifton
though,
is. It's just one big hustle.
Was life a hustle for you?
I don't know.
Were you, like, you're on the playground, were you like selling sweets and stuff like that? And I mean, as a kid,
Not recently.
not recent adult James.
It's usually like buying me trainers back off people and stuff. No, I want that back.
So you're the salesman of it, and you're the
I just sing.
because genuinely, and I don't know how you take compliment, but you have got a phenomenal voice, like another level for me. When I listen, I'm like, that's really special.
Oh, thank you.
Did you have that when you were young? Were you like a little star kid, always singing, always dancing, or were you quite shy? What were you like?
I was always singing, but just in my room. I had no confidence.
Really?
And I didn't really have like an encouraging family, so I didn't do a lot with it as a kid. And then I think I got to about...
Were they more like, shut up?
Yeah, more like that.
Trying to watch Neighbours.
But I think the point I realised I could sing, a bit of an odd one, Britney Spears released Hit Me Baby One More Time. And I remember singing that song, and I sounded like her, and I was like, I can sound like her. And then from that point,
sick.
I used to sing, because I used to love all the old divas and stuff, and I'd sing along with them, and I'd be like, oh, I can hit those notes. And I kind of learnt through the music. So I'd listen to the songs and just copy them and sing along with them in my room. And they were my sort of teachers, but as I say, I never really had much confidence with it getting out and about until later years. And then I thought, I really love doing this. It's always been like a little passion of mine. And so when I met James, I really started to grow in confidence because he's helped me, like.
So when was
immensely.
your first gig without James, like just first musical thing?
Oh gosh, a while ago. I went to an open mic. Well, my first one, I think, was actually at Jam Cafe.
Oh, so cool.
Just an open mic there. But I was doing some stuff with a guitarist. And it wasn't really my style, but I kind of sang a few of his songs. And I thought, I've got this song, Pep Talk.
Oh,
that I'd
wow, it's
written.
been
Yeah, so
there
it's been
for
there
a while then.
But I'd
Bro.
written it without any music. So I had the melody in my head, I had the vocal melody, and I could hear the music. And so I was like, I've got a song, can I sing it a cappella?
Oh, I
And they
love
were
a
like,
cappella
yeah.
singing.
So I remember being stood up in the Jam Cafe and started singing my Pep Talk song, just a cappella, and the whole room was silent. And that was like a really,
Affirming.
it was a really beautiful moment. And I thought, I mean, I really wasn't that confident then. And it took years after that to be confident at gigs without like grabbing at things and being really like twitchy. But yeah, that was like my first performance.
And then when did you two meet then? When was it in the music scene? Or was that how?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those ones where I'd heard of Joe years ago through people, and her name was always mentioned, but we'd never
Through
met.
music or just through
Through friends, wasn't it? We both grew up in Clifton, but didn't
being
know
a
each other.
slag?
Oh dear! Who have you been talking to?
Oh no, probably them pics. No, because I started doing a bit of work with some of my mates called, I'll give him a shout out, the Dub Fellas we was at the time, me and my mate Richard and Drayton, and we started doing like this dubstepper stuff.
I know it.
Collaborating with
I
people.
don't know, I'm not down with the kids, I don't know what they call these things.
You're the most down with the kids. You don't know how down with the kids are. That's what someone that is down with the kids would say.
Just pointing at your trainers
James,
stuff.
nothing like.
So
It's getting
meta.
in my way, man. But yeah, so we did a bit of that, and I used to do a little bit of guitar for them. I don't know how, because it's not that sort of stuff, but we did bits and bobs. But they'd got a few people who they'd got doing vocals for them, and they got Joe on one of their tracks. And I was listening, I was like, who's that? She got a wicked voice. And they said, oh, you ought to do a bit of collab with her. And I was like, yeah. But then it never happens, does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
somebody else mentioned, oh, this Joanne, but I didn't like link
Register.
the two till later down the line. Yeah, and they say it's that many people we've met. It's sort of This is sound cringy, but it's almost fated. Do you know what I mean?
That's the cutest thing you've ever said.
It was.
I'm glad you got it on camera.
I was going to say it's because my
Evidence.
turkey was falling off. Isn't it?
Oh, he's not playing Christmas anymore, is he?
I need the turkey for that one. I was very
So then
cringy.
you two got together,
Yeah,
let's say.
so we met. We had a bit of a jam, didn't we? Was it "Bring It On Home to Me," Sam Cooke?
Oh, God.
And that was our first song that we
I'm the
like,
biggest Sam Cooke fan in the world, you know. I just love Sam Cooke. Everything like vinyls,
Yeah.
Spotify, that's all I listen to on the day.
Oh,
Have you heard the song Romeo?
No, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Romeo wasn't.
Oh,
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Rome wasn't built in a day. You could tell I'd be now. Rome wasn't built in a day. Banger. Nobody's ever.
If my mate Jagger here now, he'd be going, he's got like a tattoo, really well done one of Sam Cooke on his arm. But
amazing.
we just, that's how me and him sort of connected.
Oh,
It was a Sam Cooke
bringing
song.
people
Yeah,
together, man, years
always.
after his death.
Because I
That's
thought I had his whole catalogue. I thought I knew every track, and then I just heard that one like a month back, and I'm like, that's my favourite song of all time.
It's the 60s, man, innit? Just bringing together. Everyone was like just in with love. It was all about that. Just together, get on the dance floor and shake it. I mean, that's not his song, but
You don't appreciate how much stuff he actually did and how many artists he inspired.
what,
throughout the
what
years.
about Bill Withers? Are you a big Bill Withers as well?
I like a few of his tunes, but I don't know his like.
Enough about.
Yeah.
It's just because I've not watched the Sam Cooke documentary yet, but I've watched the Bill Withers one, and that was fascinating. It's
Yeah.
called Still Bill on Netflix, and
to
it
watch
is
it.
really good. He made me think about music differently in that documentary, and even everyone was calling him a sellout back in the day. Can you remember Bill Withers days? And then he got what's his big one? Ain't No Sunshine,
Yeah.
come out, something like that. Everyone's like, oh, you sold out, Bill, you've done this. But he's like, if you've got a shop, like you're selling sofas, what sign do you want outside your shop? Sold out. And that just means like everyone's filling seats to come and see you. That's what the time wants.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's a beautiful way of looking at it. I understand that a bit more now, because I've like called artists passively when I was younger, like
Yeah,
sellouts,
like
just because they got famous. I'm like, you want to be filling stadiums, you want to be selling tickets, you want to be doing these things, and you want to be giving people what they want. Do you write with that in merit? Do you think about what the audience wants and what people want, or do you write for self?
No, we write from like own personal experiences, really, don't we? Not really with a mind to whether other people like what they're going to think about it. It's just sort of, yeah.
And you teach in schools, don't you, Joe?
Well, I work in SEN schools, so I work with children with disabilities.
I've done a few sends in my time.
Yeah.
Nice places to be, but hard work.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Tired
hell.
at the end of the day.
Have you done a sen? I did one in Sheffield and Leeds. Have you been to any in there?
No.
Oh, that was interesting. But do you do lyric writing or anything like that with them?
No, I just help out because we were doing the music full time. So I'd just sort of go in on a supply basis and just help out. But
Is it music you bring, or just help out and do?
But I have done in the past. I've taken my ukulele in and sort of
Cool.
done little like intensive interaction sessions with them where I play the ukulele and they play it and they love it. Music really helps people. So a lot of the students, they were non-verbal children with autism, and you found that if you get the ukulele out, have a little sing-song, like their face changed and you were connecting with them without words.
And it's an accessible instrument, ukulele.
Yeah, that's
like,
it, and I just got this
you've got
cheap
one
little
chord with a
ukulele.
C with one
Yeah,
finger. You're like,
it's
that's
brilliant.
all right. Play C for a bit then.
and yeah, they love it, like just having a little play with it. And they say it's just a little robust thing, and if it breaks, it was a tenner. So it's fine, but yeah, it was really cool.
Where did you say you grew up, James? Where were you from? Clifton. Were you born with playing guitar and stuff, like a musicality behind you, or were you one of the lads?
That'd
That'd be
been
painful for
painful.
your mum, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? Here comes the G string.
No, I would say my whole family's always been into music, and I've got such an array and eclectic taste of music. It's ridiculous. Like if I named everything I like, again, another podcast. It's ridiculous. But I got the guitar when I was a kid, and I sort of half played it, but I was not really that big into it. And it was only because I had a really good instructor called Simon Lloyd. His name was, cracking bloke. And I used to go down and he used to go, look, you're crap at that. And then just used to like, do you want to learn how to kickbox? Let's do some kickboxing. And just random crap like that. And just, I stuck with it. because he'd got a good personality and we used to have a laugh. So it was sort of from there, just because I enjoyed being around him, he was a good character and whatever.
That seems to be the most common theme with successful people or artists, is they had a Simon Lloyd in their life.
Yeah.
They've all had like a... And it wasn't, look how good I am, you want to imitate that. It's often like they're a really cool character and you just wanted to be that character with all them traits.
Well, exactly, yeah. Mate, I've got so many stories about it.
I'm a bit gutted I've never had a Simon Lloyd in my life. Like,
but I genuinely
really
believe if I'd have gone to somebody who was sort of like, this is the...
You need to do your grades.
You need
Very
to do this, you need to do
technical,
this. I'd
yeah.
have never stuck to it.
Yeah.
But because it was a laugh and it was whatever, I just learned like I probably did like a chord a month or something.
Yeah,
My parents
yeah.
must have been
But just
fuming.
kept going.
It cost them a fortune.
Paying all this and all you can do is kickbox. You're like, what's going on?
Why do you keep coming home with black eyes?
Yeah. And these crude jokes. What's wrong? He wasn't. I'm sure he's not like that with every single person. It's just I'm a dickhead, and
Yeah.
he just realised and was like, yeah, he's not playing the guitar, this lad.
I think that is a great thing to instill, though. Just show character to start off with, and then they suddenly like merge into that interest later on.
Yeah.
Because every time I've tried to learn something young, I just wanted to be seen. I was like, just look at me, somebody watch me do this thing, but I never really had that response. So I ended up getting put off it. I remember my first guitar, I'm left-handed, and it was like cheese wire.
Oh.
Do you know, like really high off the... Is it the Action?
Yeah.
The Action was really high off the board, and it was just really painful. And I didn't want to play it. The guy didn't take any interest in me. My parents didn't, so I was just like, I'm not bothered. I'm out. So I just gave up on that. Come back into music like really late on, 21, 22. But how old were you when you were starting that?
I was dead young as well. I was probably about 8 or 9, and he didn't usually take people on that young. So it was sort of like, oh, we'll see
Just
how we go
looking
on.
at you like, he needs help.
Yeah, the guitar it was one of the miniature guitars, and it was still bigger than me at the time. You know what I mean? But nah, as I say, I don't want to sound like he's not a good instructor. He was absolutely brilliant. But because you could tell that I wasn't that fussed, he sort of made it fun for me, kind of thing. You know what I
He
mean?
did what you needed,
Yeah, exactly,
which is what
yeah.
a good tutor does.
Because I think if he'd have tried to bombard me with a load of information, especially that age, I just wouldn't have taken it in. But then when I was coming, like, what have you learned at guitar lessons today? And I'd come out with this shit joke, and they're like, where have you got that from? That's not... What? That's what I learned. But...
Would you say you two, the term making it comes out a lot, I'm going to make it as an artist. Would making it for you be just being paid to do what you love, not having to be a postman or not?
Yeah, we
Or
kind
do
of-
you quite like that?
It's for a month. We'll
Yeah.
see how we go.
Temporarily.
But is that making it to you, or do you have a version of
I
what
think so,
making it
'cause,
is? Do you want to
like-
be on Glastonbury?
Well, it'd be cool, but to be fair, like before pre-COVID, we did kind of felt like, oh, we've made it
We've made
for what
it.
we want to do. We're earning a living. We've got a few original tunes out,
Hmm.
and we're not like, because some people I think it's like the be all and end all. I want to be like a world famous massive artist, and
Hmm.
you're putting so much pressure on yourself. Like, enjoy what you're doing, get a few quid for it. Yeah, that's
Do you know what? I've had a couple of beers, and I'm going to come out with something right bloody poncy now.
right. Ready?
Oh, I can't wait.
But the key to success is contentment and just be happy with what you have got. Because the thing is, if you're always looking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm coming out with something as poncy as this, but it's I find it true. So,
This should be wrote on a beer mat or something.
Right, new t-shirt design. Right. Ready?
and yeah, and just ignored with a pint on it. But the thing is, like, there's too many people saying about what is the levels of success and what do you need to do to make it. As far as we're concerned, we're doing something we love. Well, we hopefully
were.
will be
We
next
should be
year.
back on.
We're doing something we love. We're happy with it, and that's our success. You know what I mean? Whereas some people want the adulation of being number one and being millionaires and things like that. Personally, if it doesn't happen, I won't feel like I've failed. You know what I mean?
There's so many times where that idea of making it, I thought I'd done it. I've got to this point. I supported Russell Brand once,
Oh,
and
mint.
the Rizzle Kicks was at a gig, and I got on gigs with them, and it was nice. But I realised, like, while I was there, I just want to be back home with my partner, or and then when I played them gigs like here with all my mates on the bus, and we're just laughing our asses off, and then it's my turn to go up, and I do a little piece, and they're always the most content moments for me, because I'm looking around with like
people that matter,
I'm
isn't
doing
it?
it. This is real. And when I've done the Russell Brand gigs or Rizzle Kicks and stuff like that, it was nice, but everyone sat there. It felt quite fake. Like they're all just waiting for Russell Brand or them to get up, and they're just like, wow. And when you get up, they're like, come on, mate, it's time, innit?
Yeah.
Like, Russell's on in a minute. And yeah, that it always became quite false for me, I suppose. I didn't have that feeling that I thought I'd get. So you're right, you're always looking for this next thing, or in the future, or look when I get to this. And the feeling that actually emerges when you get it, it isn't always what you expect.
No.
Be careful what you wish for.
Exactly, yeah. Just be happy with what's happening at the time.
Yeah.
And then if something else comes of it, it's a nice bonus. But the thing, it's like you see these celebrities and the amount of their life that's hounded, and
Yeah.
you don't appreciate when you see them in the paper. Sometimes you don't see them as real people. That's a real person you've just taken a picture of going out in the pajamas shopping and
Yeah.
stuff.
Somebody you've shot down and you've destroyed, like their self. The amount
that's
of
what I mean.
I mean, now with social media, I think we're a lot more aware of it. We're a lot more aware of how their lives actually are and the reality of fame.
And realistically, you two have got well-developed minds now. We're adults and we can live for ourselves and we understand things a bit better. But children actors or children stars,
Yeah.
God,
It's
it's so
scary.
damaging for them.
Well, look at
That-
Michael Jackson, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at 80% of them. If you listed
yeah.
off like 100 now, I think we'd say at least 80 have ended up dead on drugs
Yeah.
in some kind of way. And I've seen it in micro scales to friends, like that
Yeah.
have just gone woof up, and they've started like getting quite ugly with that side of them. So it needs to be a spoken about topic, I suppose, how people approach becoming famous
Absolutely.
and getting into
and
that
these
point.
days, anyone can become famous. You can. There are children worldwide famous just for reviewing toys on YouTube. They've got millions of subscribers.
You went
and then,
down a very nice path there. I wasn't expecting that.
But no, anyone can be. Like,
Hmm.
you can get famous for dancing on TikTok. You can get famous for anything. So anyone, no matter who you are, can get elevated to this level of fame. And I don't think it's good for your mental health for a lot of
Hmm.
people. It's just, yeah, you see, it's damaging for a lot of people.
And like, do you two have a healthy attitude with social media and things now? Because like when I was starting off in them days, I remember it started off doing a poem a day, like every Tuesday, and I started to get, I think, 15,000, 16, a few thousand. I was like, Dad, I've made it. Imagine a stadium of that many people. But then you play this number game, don't you?
Yeah,
So
I'm
you're
guilty
looking
of
at
that,
likes and
100%.
shares and everything like that. And I remember that took me over as well. That become quite toxic because I could only see these numbers. And the
Yeah.
thing I was creating become a bit obsolete compared to that. Have you experienced that before?
100%, definitely. I mean, last year, say Music Crowns, they shared my cover of Rise Up by Andra Day, and it hit over 1 million plays.
Flipping heck.
And it started every day. I was looking, and I was obsessively looking at this video. Like, James, look, it's got another 1,000 likes. It's got
Wow.
another 10,000 plays. And I was like, getting really. You had to tell me, didn't you? Like, put the phone down.
I was going to say
I'm on the
thank
toilet, Joe. Leave me alone.
But
just
it
after
really
this year.
does. And it's because you think, oh wow, it's this amazing thing, and it is so easy to become obsessed.
Do you get like that, James? Because I can't imagine. You seem so zen.
No, he's not, he doesn't get that. He helps me. Like.
yeah.
I just wait till there's a negative comment. I was like, give me the phone, so I can reply just with something, because they always think it's from from the page and whatever.
Can we go into that a little bit? The comments with people, because that
Yeah,
is.
go for it, mate.
We connected quite strongly over that because I felt like James was my mentor and I was trying to impress him with how good I could be at these comebacks, and he was like, shocking mate, try another. Not good enough. So he was rating how good I was at dealing with these robots or like Russian ladies. Have you got any that went too far down the path, or?
I don't know. I don't think I've got a line. That's the thing. I genuinely don't give a
You're
tuppeny
so
fart
good.
about anything. So it's sort of like when people put stuff like, I understand why people can get upset by it, but my way of thinking is, I've got some random bloke I have never met before in my life saying I'm shit at guitar and I'm ugly, which, to be fair, he's got a point. You know what I mean? Fair play to the lad.
I mean, I've always said it myself.
I've not met him, but he knows his people. But like when they start coming on and start slating the music and whatever, I just don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. So like for me then, so rather than going in, you could come up with the worst things to say back to them, and you'd cane them. But the best way to be is nice, or just dead naive to it, and just come back with something dead sort of. I don't want to say passive aggressive because it never comes off passive aggressive, but just sort of say something. So I don't know. It's hard to sort of pick
We've had
examples.
a lot, haven't we? Because the videos get a lot of plays, I say, on that platform.
You must
We've
get
had
some
loads.
creeps.
Like I get loads. Like, oh, she pulls such ridiculous facial expressions
So what we
when she
did-
sings. Like,
so we
I
took a
read the
picture.
facial expression one. I was like, she's in the moment singing.
So we just took a picture of herself, like going, "Is that better for you, health? How about that one? How about this one?" You know what I mean? Just put loads of crap up. And to be fair, then you've got the trolls who give you the shit. And then when you start posting stuff like that, they see the funny side of it. And
Yeah.
we've actually swung a few
You've
around.
had quite a few, haven't you? Like they'll say, "Oh, it's crap," and then they'll say, "Well, why don't you try this one? I've listened to this instead."
I can't tell you the amount of exact same conversations I've had, even in the streets, but online, where somebody's started off in that attitude and then been like,
Actually,
quite enjoy it. You had a good one, didn't you, recently, though? Didn't they buy an album or something, or buy a tea towel?
Oh no! He's a sound bloke. He is. Yeah, that one was troll. He was a good lad. He was.
All right, but I remember you writing about, like, a troll was like, okay, I'm into you now. I remember seeing
There was
that.
this American guy. Basically, he sent us a load of abuse, and I can't remember what it was. But I just came back with something sarky, like, nothing major. I don't think it was that impressive. But he popped me a message. He was like, "Listen, mate, I'm so sorry. Like, you've kind of made me see the light a little
my
bit."
God.
And he sort of gave it. And I got to talk to him. He's a
I
lovely
see
bloke.
the Lord.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, a lot of these people, you've got to remember, they're sat on this virtual world that nobody exists. They're not real people. You're not real people. It's just typing and sending, innit? You know what I mean?
Mindlessness.
So as much as theirs is mindlessness, you've got to treat it as mindlessness as well. You can't take it and...
you can't be offended and upset by everything that people.
No, I appreciate
Type.
people do get upset because it's
And
bloaty.
I mean, I do. I just fucking tune off now. I'm not bothered about it at all.
No.
But there's also another way of being, isn't there? There's like looking at it and getting worked up, or if a reoccurring thing keeps coming up, then maybe you could better yourself
Yeah.
in your act.
If it's like if someone was like critical, if they made a fair point and gave us criticism, we're happy to take that on board.
Genuine
like, we wouldn't-
criticism that, like, you shouldn't be so malleable to change your act in every way that somebody
Yeah.
says do this, okay, I'll do that, and every time. But I've, in my art, like, I only did spoken word and could only do a cappella. I was
Yeah.
terrified of going to a beat. I was like, I've fucking never done music before in my life. I hate that. But later on, I started going, you know what, I want to try it. And I know I was dog turd at the start, like, especially
When
to
you're
a
just
beat. It
finding
was
your feet.
American, like, now I'm rapping, doing this. Everybody come. And I'm like, what? Why am I doing that? I'm just basing it all off of NWA. And then I was like, no, I actually prefer the streets anyway. I've got that, like, talking flow where it's on off beat, you don't know what happens. And then a few people brought me up on that and said, oh, have you tried doing this or trying that? And because it kept reoccurring, I was like, okay, I'll listen to what they're saying. And I think it did help my art.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't just switched off to, oh, everyone's wrong, I'm right.
Yeah, well, you have to, don't you? Like, even with us, when we first met, I used to sing in a different way. And James was like, do it more like this, and really guided me with my vocals and how I sang.
Proper people
Yeah,
telling
you need that, because otherwise,
Don't count me as proper people. I've never been classed as proper people.
I will never say that again. I can't believe what uttered out of these words then. Proper person.
I'm really having to say. But yeah, no, I think you need that, and you need to be open to things.
I love this. Make yourself at home, guys. I'm
Oh,
loving
nice.
it. Cheers. Shall we have a cheers?
Happy Christmas.
Pleasure having you here. Merry Christmas.
Eh,
How many Christmases have you been together?
6.
6 Christmases.
Yeah.
Do you have a format? Has it been the same every year, or
Yeah, same 25th December. Every year.
We tend to be gigging
you're
a
not
lot
thinking
over
of shaking it up
Christmas.
this year? Could do it tomorrow.
In fact, to be fair, actually, we're saying this year, we don't know, do we? To be fair.
Yeah. Has it shaken your boat a little bit? This obviously COVID has.
Yeah.
But like, we really value our Christmas. Like, that's a big thing for our family. My mum, I think her dad really celebrated Christmas. He come from Persia and he was a doctor, but he really adapted the
English
English
ways.
traditions and ways. So he took to it, and I think they had big Christmas dinners, really meant something. So my mum, every Christmas, puts a lot of pressure on, like, it's got to be fucking perfect. So do you have that any of that, or
No,
are you quite?
we're just like-
You're
I was thinking, don't
looking at
ask
Jess.
us. It's tragic.
No, we have like spaghetti bolognese or whatever. We just
Love
yeah.
it. Can I come and sit with you?
We have
please?
loads of alcohol. We just get steaming and have a little disco with the kids, don't we?
I don't want to ruin your Christmas, but because obviously the earnings have been down, the quality of the socks you're getting this year aren't going to be great. I'll be honest.
no. I'm not expecting any
Yeah,
socks.
sorry. Apologise.
No, we tend to just gig at Christmas. So Christmas is our big time of the year, and we tend to gig on Christmas Eve
Of course, yeah.
and then manage to chill
Oh,
out.
I
for a
bet
bit.
you have a right good Christmas Eve, don't you?
Well, I'm hoping
It'll-
it can go ahead this year. Where are we this year?
Rose and Crown.
in Lenton.
Oh,
Which
you
is a
wicked
have
show,
got a
isn't it?
gig then?
Yeah, we've got a gig
Oh, that's
then.
fantastic.
We've got one on the 19th.
That's a quality
It's all
pub as
being-
well, by the way. Give them a shout.
Yeah,
Rose and
man.
Crown.
Rose, I've been there for
Opposite
a bit of
the,
food.
Yeah, man.
Lovely.
QMC. Mint. Beautiful food, great staff.
So you,
So we have
Prices.
you're made for this, man. Yeah.
Hope you're
Love a
listening.
good
How
shout.
much is he paid for this?
I love a good shout out. Man.
Go on, I'll give you a minute now to just go for it. Who do you want to talk
The
to?
pressure now.
You what?
I've lost the. Keep going. I'll think
Have
of
you
something
seen
else
in
to chuck
Have you
them
seen in Ted where he has to list out all these names? Mary, Berry, Terry. Please tell me you watch Ted. It's one of the best films ever. Are you into Christmas films? Are you bothered about giving them a whirl?
Not especially. Like, watch a few with the kids.
mean-
And obviously, because of the kids, we put in effort for Christmas. Like, with decorations and stuff.
Do they go
but
mad for it?
They love it. Their birthday's on the 21st of December.
Oh, wow.
So it's like excitement overload. And they just go mental.
Do they double up with presents, or is it 21st presents? 20?
Yeah,
oh,
but it's always
wow.
hard to like give what for
Lucky
what.
bastards.
Obviously, Santa had COVID this year, so they're not expecting as much.
I've
didn't
got them
die
some
of it, did
quality
he?
socks, to be fair. I've gone all out this year.
Kids socks.
We might have to share a
Oh,
bit.
no, don't get kids' socks. Give them adult socks and go into them. You didn't come daft. You're buying socks every... Yeah, it's dumb stupid.
He's
Size
ended up with a load of
11s.
Batman
We're actually
socks.
we've just put in a order. Order is not a word that should be leaving my head anytime soon. Cheers, Sherry. We've put in an order for some Old Farm Bus socks,
Oh,
but I'm
wicked.
really excited. Like, you know, you're getting old when merch and socks in particular really gets you buzzing.
I see that you've got like a little
We're
baby
getting
grow.
socks, like we've got yellow, red, blue, but they're also embroidered in the sock, our little logos in the
Wicked.
sock. I'm like,
And where are these available, Mike?
I'm learning from the best. On the bus soon.
And there will be a link at the bottom of this
Down here.
with socks. Oh, why do you keep putting that there?
Have you ever been into boxing, brother? You having a good little tussle with that one? I wasn't offering you out
It
then.
was actually.
You touched my mic
It's the
again.
first, well, if it was, it's the first time I've ever hit anything. I thought I was good at boxing until I realised I was meant to hit them back.
Yeah.
That's why I've got this brace thing in.
Was that with boxing?
Well, years down the line, because I found out I got like a broken jaw at the bottom, and I've had to have my teeth make sure they stay in for a bit. I'm getting it
Blimey.
out
Can
soon.
you remember the punch?
No, I don't
No.
know. There's too many to
Have you
count.
seen how straight his nose is?
And how straight their noses were. Yeah, no.
What's your take, if you don't mind me asking, on the Tyson, the new comeback fights and stuff like that? Are you keeping an eye on it?
Personally, it's putting me off boxing. I'll be honest with you. Some of it, like
with the
especially
YouTubers and all this, yeah.
I wasn't that bothered about the YouTube thing. And I was like, because I don't follow YouTube. I didn't know who Jake and Thingy Paul are, but I saw the undercard of the Tyson fight, and I saw the quality of the opponent he was fighting. Did you see that? Jake Paul. Is it Jake Paul or
It
Logan?
was Jake Paul and his brother's Logan, isn't it?
Yeah. One of them, I think it was Jake or Logan, was fighting this lad. And he was just running forward, and it's dangerous, man.
It
That's
is.
what people don't appreciate. It's a dangerous. Well, I know because
The beauty of boxing is how technical it is.
Yeah.
It's like a chess match. You make a mistake and you get countered, and then they're trying to. It's like tigers in a cage working each other out and sort of picking their faults or learning about what they're about. That's the beauty of
There's a lot
boxing
of
for me.
skill
I
to it,
love
isn't it?
boxing.
Where is
You
this?
couldn't just chuck a random person in
Well,
the
this
ring with a
what it was.
professional.
This is what it was. Two random lads basically having a scrap, and it was still just running and hugging. But obviously, this other lad's got a bit more about him. He's done a little bit more than this. I think he was a basketballer or something.
He was a basketball, yeah.
And he got knocked down, but the ref counted to about 20 before he let him back up. And
It was
honestly,
so
mate, it was the most corrupt thing I've ever seen.
The ref just wanted to see blood that night,
Did you,
didn't he?
you saw it,
was,
didn't you?
yeah, I watched
Disgusting.
it. Yeah.
And then that knockout. Like, and how is that advertising boxing to people?
He knocked him down 3 times, didn't he? Until the ref was sort of like, okay, no, because that was the knockout was game over, wasn't it? That was birds around his head.
Oh mate, he'll be
That was
blowing bubbles
awful.
for years
Yeah,
after that.
that was horrible.
He's gone. He's gone, mate.
Have you ever been knocked out like that? Have you ever had that?
Probably. I can never remember.
You've been concussed.
Yeah. I've never been like sparked, but I remember one. It's probably when I did my jaw.
And you came round to mine after.
Oh, that was a different one. No.
Oh, yeah, it's been a few times.
Yeah.
You
Never
can
knocked
talk
them out.
boxing all day long, mate. I love boxing. It's
Yeah,
my
I got
favourite
knocked
thing.
out a lot. But no, it's one shot, and I just remember it. Bam. And then next minute, I'm packing my kit away. And I'm talking to the lad who was sparring with. I was like, "Did you knock me out?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Really?" I was like, what happened? He says, no, I don't think so. No, you was up on your feet. But I couldn't remember anything after that shot. And the thing is, as well, I had a bleed on the brain. Not
Yeah.
through that, before that.
As a kid?
No, as an adult, like, let's get back into boxing, great idea. But, and then you start questioning things and think, this is probably in the sport for me, you know. Especially when you're meant to be hitting them back
I
as well.
remember that, because I was gutted after hanging my gloves up. But I did a year in Oz, come back, and then did a year in South Africa. And I lived there for a bit. And then come back, and I was like, I'm going to do boxing again, because I really enjoyed it. But in that time of travelling, I found substances.
Yeah.
All the psychedelics. And then I remember I broke up with a girl. And like my mates would break up with girls and then they'd be over them in like a week or two and they've like got another girl on their arm. When I broke up, because I had like attachment issues, let's go into Mikey's psyche. I ended up like heartbroken for months. Like I thought my world was over. So I really hit the psychedelic sort of path because my mental health was everywhere. Within that as well, I was trying to do boxing. So I was trying to get my head punched at the gym sparring, come home and do something on the night. Yeah. And I remember I did the Rocky punch at the gym, and we connected at the same time. Me and Phil Davenport, he used to be like Derbyshire's pro, really cool guy, but we connected, and I just went down. I looked up and I'd gone into like DMT land. It was like, honestly, everyone was laughing at me. It was terrifying. It was the
Yeah, because you have after effects, don't you, when you take acid and mushrooms and stuff. Like you can get, even like years down the line, you get flashbacks of like trippiness.
Oh, guy, I had that on a stage in front of 1,000 people.
Oh, gosh.
It's called the Happiness Festival, and I flashback because high levels of anxiety can trigger it. So I was on this stage and I was like, 1,000 people. I've never done 1,000 before. Got up and I'm talking, and that punch come back to me, and it was like, whoop, and I was like, oh, here we go. That's why I sort of navigated away from teaching and things like that, because public speaking. but yeah, that feeling. But that was my biggest problem, was giving up boxing. I just really didn't want to do that, but I was like, I can't take many more blows to the head.
No,
it's
not
probably
good,
not programmed for substances, punches.
Well, anyone like
else.
the fittest person, like they'll get punchy, don't they? Like towards the end.
Do you know what? I think I've got a video of me and my mate years ago sparring, and I think I've got a little clip where he caught me with one and my head's gone. But then the clip is just after my head's gone. I'm sort of half stumbling forward and he catches me, and I'm just about to go out the ropes, but the ropes bounce me back.
I remember seeing that.
So if I find the link, you can have it in the bottom.
Please,
here.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I might even put that up in this video.
Yeah.
I'll put that while we're talking. Just have James bouncing
It's
about.
funny, his legs just went.
Oh, it's gone now. Split my eye open. That was a cracking punch. That I'll give him that.
Did you do amateur fighting then? And
No, because I couldn't. I went to my doctors about it. And
Really?
They were like, "You've had an injury, you twat. What are you playing at?"
Did you do anything other than music, Joe? Have you been down the line of other passions?
Well, when I was about 18, 19, I went to work as like a PGL instructor. So I used to do climbing, abseiling, trapeze.
Okay.
So I was more active. I mean, don't let the weight fool you. Like, I've not always been this large.
James, I feel like it's our duty to tell her how great she is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a lovely hat.
I have got a lovely hat. Beautiful it is. But yeah, so I did that for a while and worked in France. That was cool.
So, do you still have an active lifestyle with
I
the
think you say
COVID and
French
everything?
accent. Still got one.
Oh yeah, I fancy hearing that. Ah.
Oh, no. Oui, oui, oui.
I went,
Yes, but
ha ha ha, and you
That's
went,
what
no.
happened.
Would you get back into the active lifestyle? Do you like sport?
Well, I've started, now the gyms have opened up again. I try and get into a bit of a routine with that, but I've never been like a hugely sporty person. So I used to love climbing and stuff, like things like that, but I've never been really dedicated to a sport. I always fall over my own feet. So
I think it's really nice to be able to have other things going on. Do you know when I got into, or you got into your passion, music, was that all you did for a bit? Have you ever got like, oh, I wished I could do boxing again, or abseiling? What was the things you were doing? Kayaking, was it?
Yeah, I did like that. And a bit of zip wiring and stuff.
This is brilliant. Adventure
cool.
sports.
I'll take the kids one day.
But it is nice, like when I go, because I'm that guy that all or nothing, and when I do too much of something, I feel myself plateau, and then I go off here and start doing the gym again, or just little bits of boxing on my own, and it feeds the passion back for music and stuff like that. Do you find that as well? No, I just love music. No stop.
Music. I only sing. That's all I do.
Really?
I'm a bit like Roger off American Dad.
Yeah, I know
So where he
Roger.
just like next minute I'm a fireman, and then
Yeah,
I takes the hat off, and then I'm a musician, and you know what I mean? I'm one of them. Now I'm a postman.
It's good. I feel like I've come to a new word, but I'm a completionist. I just feel like I get badges for stuff, but then I'm like, I've done that. I want to try something else, and I think that's my passion, is just doing things.
That's a good way to be, though. Motivated and driven.
Finding what
I just
you're
heard
about.
the word start with a C, and I was going to go, yes, so am I. But then he was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Is that a short word?
4 letters.
So tell me, because you've got your solo thing coming up,
Yeah.
and that's probably taken a lot of your time, a lot of the energy. But Lady Rose, that's right, isn't it? Because it's Lady Joe I
Leafy
met
Rose.
you as. Lady Rose. What's the steps and plans for that? Is it just trying to get all these gigs back together? Let's see what happens next year.
Definitely. I say we've
Let's
just
do a
released.
collab.
Yeah,
man,
Let's hear it now.
We
You've
need to
heard it
get
here
on it,
first. Let's do a collab. We're doing a collab.
is it happening?
Yeah,
I would love that.
We kept
We
going on
need
about
to,
it,
don't
to be
we?
fair. And it was
We're
one of
so
those-
close.
Yeah, it was going to happen, and then
Well, we've
Why?
got a bit
Why?
more
We
spare
got
time
wankered.
now, you know.
we turned up and just got drunk. That's what it was.
I would love to do a collab. I think I've still got on here somewhere some of the old stuff we tried doing, so
We need
I'll
to
have a
get
listen
back on it
through.
again.
We do. We turned up. We got drunk. and
Oh,
then
it
that
was so
it.
fun though, wasn't it?
It was a good
I had
night.
one of the best nights of my life.
Get Dom. I tell you what, all of
Dom-
us. Dom
get
back.
Dom down.
I tell you what, you want to talk about boxing? Who was good at boxing? Dom.
I can imagine.
He was mint, mate.
I look at his
British.
face and I think,
And the size of his hands.
you've been
like-
around. So,
Yeah.
Oh, mate, 100%. He's got some stories on him, hasn't he?
Dom.
Dom.
Dom's a
Mate,
legend.
he's,
I like
again,
Dom
he's
as well.
another story on his own.
I did
He's
a
legend.
collab with Georgie, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, man,
I did.
that's
I
cool.
did one with her, one with Joey Collins, and Johnny
Yeah,
Ollie
'cause
as
you
well.
got, recently you got your BBC introducing
Hey,
track of the week, didn't you?
I managed. Yeah, I think it was more the gimmick though.
Hello, people.
Yeah, yeah. I think because we had the baby in the same week and everything. I think Dean Jackson went off of that. He was like, "I've got a story here. It's not just a song. I've got a whole week of material out of this." So I got by with that. But yeah, it's been just enjoying it now. That completionist thing. I love music. Turned it into a job. But then it did get stagnant. I had them trips on stages and things like that, literal. And now I've gone back to, do you know what? I just want to enjoy it again.
enjoy
I
it
just
again,
want to
yeah.
do it for a passion, do it for a love, and do the other bit. Mike Van Dam, if you want any fan jobs doing.
Well, that's kind of what happened with
Links below.
Yeah.
because we were doing like pre all this business, we were doing so many gigs, and as much as you love doing it and it's your passion, you can't help but maybe feel like, right, this is our 4th gig of the weekend, and I'm singing Great Pretender for the 10th time, and you do kind of get stuck in that
Yeah,
rut.
but to be fair, though, we could have learned more songs.
We could, we only knew one song.
You just learned Great Pretender, and that was it. It's like, Joe, mix it up, man. This has been the 10th in a row. Come on.
But
you
it
ever
kind
get-
of it gave us a kick up the arse to be like, right, we're going to do our stuff and do more of our stuff. And we got Molly Ralph's bassist, Josh.
Oh, wicked. He's
He's
such a nice
sound
lad.
guy. Yeah, man.
Who,
on.
Josh?
Yeah.
Legend, mate.
He's
really is,
literally,
man.
he's coming on here soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
wicked.
yeah.
Let's keep
Top
an eye
lad.
I
out.
just get on so well with him. Molly Ralph did a set on the bus as well. Have you watched that one?
Yeah,
But
man.
Oh, that night,
He's
just meeting
sound,
Josh,
isn't
I was like, can you be my mate forever?
You can't imagine anyone having a bad word for him, can you?
They won't. I promise you that will never happen.
I mean, I've thrown a few at him and he just don't phase him.
He's got such a good
I
sense
just
of
can't
humour,
phase
man.
him, man.
But so we got him and our friend Laura, her husband Steve on drums, and then we went
He's
to
brilliant, by the way.
we went
really
to
good.
Electric Bear Studios. Shout
Oh,
out
yeah.
in
Is that Jared's?
Mansfield. Yeah, that's Jared's.
He's coming on here next week.
He's another. Oh, you can say you got the whole lot.
I'm having them
You
all,
working your
mate.
way through Molly's
Yeah.
band.
He's definitely coming on here next week, so
Oh,
another
wicked.
Christmas
Another
guest.
top lad.
Yeah, man.
He's sound. He is.
He
He's
is
another
sound,
nice bloke.
wicked producer. So we went there and got the 2 tracks recorded. But it's cool.
He
'cause
just gave me a beat for nothing. I was like, oh man, I'm really like enjoying all the stuff you've been doing. Really
Oh,
appreciate it.
wicked.
He's like, oh, I like you too, mate. Have a beat.
Wicked.
All right then. And it's coming out soon. Where can you find that, Jen?
I might have to offer 3 things now. You've got a song, a beat, and a lovely picture.
So guys, I've got a wonderful lady in the house, and I'm gonna have to head there soon.
Yes,
But
back to your
before
little lady.
we do my 2 little ladies, I forgot about Chrissy then. Bloody on about Ella. Chrissy, you're brilliant too. I love you. Do you think you could play as a song as well? Do you think you've got anything else in that catalogue of yours?
Should we drop a bit of pep talk?
This is where he says, "Have you ever played drunk? Let's see how long we can keep him talking." Yep, steaming. Go.
You didn't have any sherry, I'm gutted. You're
can't
supposed to
handle
join
sherry.
She's
me
not
on
that
that.
type of girl, man. I couldn't hack it.
Right, we'll see. We'll do maybe the majority of the song. Maybe the
What
full
song we're doing?
We'll do pep talk. So this song is out now. Go find it, please, on Spotify. Play it.
Oh, so
And,
excited.
yeah, man.
Can I just say, this bus is bloody freezing, man.
I've got a heater as well. I turned it
wrong
off
with
because
you?
I thought it might kill the power. Like, it's happened before.
People need to watch this so we can get some
Money, so
get
we can
some
afford
money
a
so
new
we can have
drum
some
cover.
heating. Man. What's wrong with you?
Proper
Arctic bus.
heating.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, links below.
You're not that foolish little girl they know you used to be. You're an independent woman standing on 2 feet and they will see. But don't you show them, don't you show them, don't you show them your scars. Deep down, deep down, deep down, deep down, down, day. Out with them, dance until your feet go numb. You go out with them for some much needed fun. Then you'll have wonderwall as long as you don't show the sides of you. You don't want them to know. You're not that foolish little girl they know you used to be. You're an independent woman standing on 2 feet and they will see. But don't you show them, don't you show them, don't you show them your scars.
Wow. Wow. That is good. That is bloody great. I really enjoyed that.
Playing with frostbite and all sorts.
I was gonna. I can't wait to see you two live again, but I've just
Yeah,
seen it, so I'm all right now. I've had my fix.
See you here.
Little injection of it. Absolutely fantastic. So, guys, just to summarise it all, where can people find all your stuff? What can they expect from you next? And where are you going with this?
Oh, cool. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just blah, blah, blah. So
Anything
some of
other
this
than
sherry?
sobriety, basically.
Right. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Just search Lady Rose Nottingham and it should pop up. We've got a new tune landing on the 1st of January 2021 called Blind Eye. So yeah, go find us. Come say hi.
Siri, please pre-order Blind Eye.
That must work.
Alexa.
Alexa, set alarm 2 a.m.
The amount of people are unsubscribing now. You've killed all my audience and you've just bought yourself a whole...
It's below.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really do
thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
It's been lovely. Merry Christmas
Merry
again.
Christmas,
Cheers to you.
Congratulations on
cheers.
becoming a daddy.
Oh, it's the best feeling in the universe.
It is, man.
Everybody, thank you so much for being here. You've been a part of the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus sessions. Really appreciate it. Lady Rose, pointed at James then. James and Joe, you're
Lady
fantastic
Rose.
people. I love you so much.
Oh, we love you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Be nice to one another.
Watch out for the collab.
Blood.
I was just kidding.
You bloody buggers. Thank you so much. Peace and love, guys.